Thanks for having me. I've been thinking about what would be topic that would be interested for young scientists, and not only young scientists, but for everybody for joining in for this GMDS event. And so my thinking has been GMDS really is about different disciplines working together. So I said, okay, let's talk about why we should be working together, or why we are actually working together. And this, when I say while we should be working together, this already implies that maybe the different disciplines reflected or represented in the GMDS do not work together to the extent they could be or maybe should. And one might ask, what is the reason for that? And before I go into convincing, yes, there could be or should be more, let's briefly reflect, why are there actually reasons for why we should not work together? And I didn't prepare a slide, I just have slides on why we should work together. But briefly reflect, because on the first side, it looks obvious that interdisciplinary research always is a good idea. But there are some reasons why we might say, practically it's a little bit more challenging. And I remember, for example, that several years ago, there was an analysis on funding provided by the German Science Foundation. So Germany's largest science funder, that found actually that applications that had an interdisciplinary team submitting the application actually had a somewhat smaller chance of getting funded compared to applications that came from teams from just one discipline. You might think, why is this so? Then you think about peer review, where I say, okay, if somebody gets to look at an application, he or she always belongs to some community. And then you see, okay, there are parts in it that I understand, and then there are also parts that I don't really understand, and maybe this makes it a little bit more challenging. And this, I guess, is not only when you submit applications for funding to the German Research Foundation, but it is also generally so. You're always working within one discipline, and when you move out, you have to pay some price. I would say this price really is worth it, but I think this is also why we might need my talk today to convince you a little bit. And I'm coming to this from two perspectives, to explain some of the icons on the slide. I mean, the first, you got already in the introduction. So I've been the president of the GMDS for the last 2 years. So this has been this has strongly occupied my thinking. And the second thing is that I now freshly speak of a collaborative research center funded by the German Research Foundation. This is also what you occupy me quite a bit. And maybe combining these two perspectives, I can give examples of why and how the different disciplines should actually be working together. So I said, I've been present for the last 2 years. If you think maybe at some point, I guess maybe some of you may even become also president of the GMDS in the future. So never say never. I must warn you a bit. This entails quite some work, or might entail quite some work at nighttime. So this is the moon standing over the GMDS magazine. Not because, as a president, you are responsible for writing this GMDS magazine, because this is this nice composition is done by the GMDS office, but because the GMDS magazine is something tangible that I can put on this presentation slide. If you think what you do about as a president, but also if you're in some other bodies of the GMDS, it's often more abstract. So you say, okay, you facilitate the working together of different disciplines. And then you say, okay, what did he really do during these 2 years?
Neugierig? Den kompletten Vortrag finden Sie im Intranet der GMDS. Einfach anmelden und den Menüpunkt Bild und Videomaterial anklicken. Werden Sie Mitglied in der GMDS.